terrible at making decisions, and it's just awful for me. Awful. I always stumble. I can't get things done just because of this decision. I lose so much time. But it's not with every type of decision. It's with the shallow decisions. When it comes to important things, I go for it. I know straight away what to do, and that is because due to its importance, I think about the consequences of all my actions. So I know that the decision that I'm going to make is going to be very important for my life, and it's going to lead to other things. So I think carefully about that, and then I make my decision. When it comes to shallow things, I see no point in making a decision whatsoever. So thinking about this, I even lose more time, and it's not that great. To give an example, it happens to me every day at lunchtime. I've been recently packing my lunch, so I don't go through all this nonsense. But sometimes, I don't have time to pack my lunch, so I go with my friends and we go out for lunch and we stop at a grocery store to buy some sandwiches and stuff. And everyone goes there, they pick a sandwich, they pick some chips, juice, and I'm there looking at all the types of sandwiches there are. I'm looking at the calories, the fat, the ingredients, and it's just too hard for me to make a decision of what sandwich I'm going to eat for that particular day. It's not going to influence anything else. It's not going to influence what is going to happen to me afterwards. Nothing. It's just a plain simple sandwich so I don't feel hungry during the day. But still, I stay there for 10-15 minutes just choosing a fucking stupid sandwich. And this made me think about all these things about decisions, and since I had this trouble with making shallow decisions, I bought a book once, and it's actually the book that Mozza showed. Your Brain is Almost Perfect. That's How Do We Make Decisions. That's the title by, I don't know, I'm terrible with authors. And it was a very good book, although I stumbled a bit and I had to leave it for a while and then pick it up. But it was quite good, and the whole idea is computation. So now I'm pointing out Douglas' idea that we make this, sorry for my eyes and stuff, I'm just tired and so my eyes are all thingy. But as Douglas pointed out, we make decisions due to chemical signals in your brain, and that's all what it is actually. It's computation, and computation is that, it's information chemically transmitted in your brain. So I think it's really great of Andrew for at least doing some research into it and then pointing out to all of us like the types and how do we make decisions, what types are there and stuff like that. And in my opinion, I always when I want to make a decision, I always have into account the degree of severity or seriousness, but I'm not normal with this, so I think other people do have this into account. And obviously it depends on what kind of decision it is, if it's something personal, or if it's something for another person, or if it's something just to hurry up things. You always have several things into account that are important to you. And for instance, for me, it's always money and circumstances in life and the people who surround me, how they're going to be affected, how I'm going to be affected in my near future, and what's healthier for me, what's better for me, those kind of things. You always have into consideration that. But I think the key point to outline here is, where does all this come from? How do you actually begin to think about what is most important to you? I think it comes with time actually. There obviously there has to be some sort of genetic background to this, and it has to be like inbuilt into your brain. There has to be like this code that we haven't even discovered, but there has to be something in our brain that actually maps out all our decisions and how we make them and all the processes in our mind. I think there's something to do with the way you are brought up and people who surround you, how they are and making decisions. My dad is he pays a lot of attention to the consequences of your own actions and things like that, so maybe I got that from him. But once again, he's my dad, so if I would live with a complete stranger, would the same thing happen, because that person wouldn't be genetically related to me. But I think we pick up all these kind of things. I have a friend that is really great at making decisions, and sometimes she motivates me to be, rush. Yeah. What influences our decisions? It's basically that. I integrated into that whole answer. And now free will. Okay, free will. I don't like this topic very much, free will, but it's something that really challenges me, and I think is very challenging for other people. I think we have no right to talk about free will, actually. I don't think we go anywhere when we talk about it, because there is no evidence for anything. But, people talk about God, and there's no evidence for God, so there is a whole discussion around God, so why not about free will? The thing to do with free will is actually, it's a major field in neuroscience, neurophilosophy, because it has to do so much with the consciousness. And the thing is, we don't know anything about consciousness, so how the hell can we know anything about free will? I don't want to define free will as Andrew pointed out, but because I think it's up to each person to know, to come up with their own definition and their own substance of the matter. And I know we all differ in this, but free will isn't an absolute theory. It's not exactly the same when we speak in a science community, or when we speak with our friends, or when we speak with ignorant people. So it varies a lot. And in my opinion, for us to have a free will, and I'm going to define this as something as we are entirely responsible for our decision and actions. I don't think we are, so I don't think we have a free will, simply put. Not going much in depth into the definition of free will. I think that it is too much of a mystery, but I think it's not that we are controlled by someone who makes our decisions for us, and it's not that we aren't responsible for our actions, because we are entitled of our brain. But the thing is, our brain is so mysterious and so outlined in such, codes and signaling mechanisms and things like that, that we don't know until what point we actually choose it. So that's why we can't actually discuss this topic. But I believe that every action we have has a consequence and has an effect on all the other actions and decisions we are going to make. So what I've chosen to do almost 1 year ago, which was apply to a university, made me come to this university. So how much is it entirely my choice? All the things that happen to me are because I'm in this situation, and who put me here were actually my parents. So how much of free will do I have for living on this earth in the first place? So it's a bit of a ramble, and it's a big topic to talk about, that we really have to do more stuff about it, more research into it. As usual, 9 minutes, 10 minutes video. I can't do this, I make so long videos, but thank you very much for listening, and I really appreciate all your answers, guys, and I'm very excited to have Orygyn on the channel, which makes me the official only girl on this channel, which is kind of cute. And so yeah, let's see what Douglas comes up with tomorrow. I'm excited. I prefer to answer other people's questions rather than mine, or posting a video with questions, but whatever. Okay, so I hope everyone's okay, and I'm going to end it now, and thank you very much for listening. Bye bye.